We'll preview the U.S. Open with a couple of the golf guys so that we get you ready for all the U.S. Open, which comes your way Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday out at Shinnecock. Chris in Connecticut. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Mike, I got a quick question about gambling, and I want to ask it specifically about basketball, well, the NBA more specifically. So with gambling being more in the open now, one of the things that always worried me about if it became legal was the backdoor cover as it pertains to the NBA. And for your listeners that are fortunate enough to not know what that is, that's a score that happens late in the game that doesn't affect the actual win or the loss of the outcome of the game, but it affects the betting line.
Sure.
So now, the way I look at it, I mean, some funny stuff happens at the end of games sometimes, especially in the NBA. What's there to prohibit a team, a player who's at home, to kind of ingratiate himself to the fans? You know, they're up 7, he knows the line's 8, and he goes in for a dunk with a second left, and he has a smile on his face because he knows that there's fans there that bet on the game. Like, do you think that's going to happen more time? I mean, that's something that I always thought.
I think it's always. Legal. I think it's already happened. All right. I think there's some players who have been conscious of the spreads and have been conscious of that. You've heard Garden crowds in the past go crazy for the spread late in the game, one way or the other. So that stuff happens.
They can't put a rule in. They can't put a rule
no,
in. There's no way to...
There's no way to... Listen, you're dealing with numbers. The games are going to fall on numbers. There's going to be wacky things there. I mean, not to the level of throwing it in the wrong basket, okay, which we dealt with once. But the point is, hey, it does happen. It doesn't mean... you can't let how the final thing plays out, whatever the numbers might be, you can't let that impact the sport itself. If you do, then that's going to be their big complaint always. That's always been their big complaint, but they stopped making it because they knew it was going to fall on deaf ears. You know, hey, people have been able to bet legally on sports for a long time. It was only in one state, but it was legal. So the point is, you've had it. You're just going to get more scrutiny. You are going to get more scrutiny. There's no way around that. Jaden in Long Island, what's up, Jaden?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good, what's
Glad to
happening?
have you back. Listen, people are talking about the traffic. The city, the problem with the traffic in the city, you got too many cars parked in the city. First of all, they got too many free parking in Manhattan to start with. We should not have alternate side parking in the city at all. Okay, so you have a tons of cars in the morning that comes in to get free parking. I work in the city. I drive taxis in Manhattan. In the morning, you just like roaches. Guys are coming in like all over the place. Connecticut, Jersey, all over getting free parking in Manhattan.
Gotcha.
If you eliminate that alone.
I mean, that's because, it saves people. I understand, but, if a guy goes in there 5 days a week and he can save $150 parking in the garage, he's going to try and do it, I guess. And does it impact people? Yeah, it does. It definitely does. You're right. There's a lot of people, that are going to try and save, whatever it costs to park a car in Manhattan. I don't even know what it costs to park a car in Midtown Manhattan during the day. Probably $20-$30 for a day, right? Maybe more.
Probably like 60.
60? Okay. You see, that just shows you how long it's been since I've parked one. Tom and Albertson, what's up, Tom?
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Speaking of sports and traffic, what's Cooperstown going to be like in the next couple of years with Rivera and Jeter? Little town like that getting a few 100,000 people, that's going to be nuts.
Well, I mean, I can't answer you about that. I've never been there for one of those ceremonies. They lived through Mickey and Whitey. They lived through, other New York icons. So I'm sure they can live through anybody else getting in there.
Yeah, I went to Seavers, and it was pretty nutty, but it just seems to be more of an event, and a big event these years, and with very few hotels.
I don't.
Camping out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Like I said, they've gotten through all those other years. I would guess they would probably be able to get through that. I don't know when they have an overflow crowd for that. Like I said, I've never been there for one of those. Tom in Belmore, what's up, Tom?
Hey, I'd like to talk about the traffic problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
They should build like a super highway. Goes from like the city all the way out east.
Oh, come on.
3 entrances.
Yeah, where are they building it? Come on, Tom, stop. No more traffic calls, okay? Joe, what's up, Joe?
I'm sorry?
What's up, Joe?
Oh, I wanted to talk about the infrastructure issue.
Well, let's talk about the U.S. Open. Let's not talk about it, because the last one just told me they want to build a 3-lane highway all the way from. I was done on that one, okay? Because then once it gets stupid, I can't deal with it anymore. So, talk to me about the golf. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know anything about golf.
Oh, okay. So, what was your infrastructure point? Go ahead. What was it?
My point is the military budget is so ingrained in this country.
It is, yes.
There's no money for anything else.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, that's a debate. You can listen. You're not wrong on how much money is spent on security, if you want to call it security. So the military budget. But my point is, somewhere along the way, whether they tax gasoline, whatever it may be, they are going to have to fix the infrastructure in this country. It's not going to be a question of if they have to fix it. It's a question of when they have to fix it. Those roads and tunnels and bridges are not built forever. They have got to be redone. There's just no way around it. I mean, that structure that they built, those highways that they built in the 50s and 60s that connected this country, you know what? They're worn out. A lot of them are worn out. A lot of those bridges are worn out. They got to be rebuilt before something bad happens. Ari in West Orange, what's up, Ari?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Long-time listener. Thank you very much for taking the call. I really enjoy your show. I'm not here to talk traffic, but I just want to say the traffic in Jersey is no picnic. I sit on the turnpike every day.
Right.
So I'm sure there's a lot of fellow turnpike travelers out there listening. They can attest to that as well. That it's just horrible.
No question. But, I totally agree.
Yeah. My question with the Yankees and with the starting pitcher, I'm glad you said to the guy about Matt Harvey, I do not want.
No, listen, he was that was, I'm sure, very tongue-in-cheek, because Matt, after a couple of promising starts where he was okay the first couple, has really gotten hit hard the last couple of starts. He has, they've kind of beat him up pretty good. So it's not like there's been anything to write home about. It looked like maybe he was going to, do something and really turn it around a little bit. It looked like the first couple of starts, and then it went sour after that. He has been very bad of late.
Can you tell me, because I've heard you say before, you don't want Cole Hamels. Can you tell me why not? Because I don't know. I think maybe...
Listen, what I mean to say is, it's not that I wouldn't accept Cole Hamels. What I mean to say is I would prefer to hold out for better. I think there's better, and I'm willing to wait to see what the answer is. Like, I'm willing to wait to see what happens with the St. Louis Cardinals. Are they going to be in? Are they going to be out? Because I have my eye on a couple of their pitchers. I mean, so there are teams I have an eye on a couple of pitchers. It really depends. Now, again, I don't think the Yankees most likely are going to get a guy who you're going to say, oh, we're going to marry this guy to Severino and we're going to beat everybody. They're not going to get a Verlander.
There's nobody out there like that.
Well, I mean, unless Bumgarner becomes available, there isn't a guy like that out there. And I just don't see that happening. But they can maybe get a useful pitcher who might have to pitch them to the pennant rather than be able to be there one or two. See,
do you think Hamels would be that guy, or you're just not convinced on that?
I don't think he makes I don't think he makes them marginally better. You see, I would have more faith in Tanaka in the postseason.
Right. I'm only asking Hamels because. Yeah. Right, I'm only asking Hamels because I don't think it would cost much to get him out.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I agree with you.
I'm asking Hamels so much.
It wouldn't. But my point is, I have more faith in Tanaka, who I think can lift his game as he did in the playoffs last year. Tanaka in the big game has lifted his game. In the regular season, he's going to give up home runs. He's going to have some spotty starts. He does that. But I saw him lift his game a lot last year, and I think he could do that again. Dennis joins us. What's up, Dennis?
Yes, Mike. I was reading an article. I believe it was an ESPN writer, and it was specifically about Sanchez and why he's doing so poorly. And they had a bunch of different metrics, and it was about balls that were put in play. They discounted strikeouts, discounted home runs, and balls that put in play. And the two things that killed him were he had a low exit velocity, very low exit velocity on the batted ball, and foot speed. And that's, of course, we all know that. And so I'm just wondering, let's say Romine goes 3 for 8 or 4 for 8 or 2 for 8, and drives in 2 or 3 runs and doesn't butcher any balls. like Sanchez did when Chapman was in on Saturday night against the Mets, what do they do? Is he going to clear his head and then put him back in if Romine has a great series?
Listen, they're not gonna bury Sanchez here. Sanchez is a guy who, in the early part of his career here, has put up astronomical numbers. I mean, in his first 670 at bats, he had 53 home runs. I mean, that's for anybody, that's insane. For a catcher, that's otherworldly. So,
well, what's the problem?
Well, right now he's just got, he still has 12 home runs and 35 RBIs in a little more than a third of a season. That's really good numbers. I mean, if he goes 30, 100, you're happy. The problem is he's hitting 190 and he's striking out a lot, which he didn't strike out that much his first 2 years. He's striking out a lot now this year. He's chasing a lot of bad pitches in the dirt. He's getting himself out on bad sliders. And what you noticed about him early in his career was he hit the breaking ball very well. And now he's not doing that. And now he's getting himself off balance. He's lunging. He's getting himself out on pitches in the dirt. He's just gotten into some bad habits that he's got to break. He is a big-time offensive player. And I think he will remain that. We know what his catching difficulties are. He's got a great arm. He's got a bad glove. But his hitting, I mean, he's a big-time hitter. He's just in a slump. Back after this.